Alright guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to run your Facebook ad using the CBO or the ABO strategy, which is the campaign budget optimization or the Adset budget optimization. These two strategies are one of the best practices in the industry, so I would like you to pay very close attention. I know somebody is wondering why I call it one of the best practices in the industry. You will find out as we proceed in the video. Now I'll be jumping right into my Facebook ad manager environment now to walk you guys through this process. So now guys, I want to believe you can find your way down to your Facebook ad manager environment. Like I said, the CBO and the ABO are one of the best practices in the industry. It gives you the opportunity to test your audience. I know somebody is wondering, what's the benefit of the CBO? A lot of people in the industry would run their ad going through the campaign setup, into the ad setup, stacking up interest, and at the end of the day they run the ad and they find out it's not converting. Now what the CBO does is that it allows you to test your audience. Rather than you packing all your target audience in an ad set, it allows you to test across various target audience, whereby your budget would be set at the campaign level, and that particular budget would be spread across all your ad sets. In this kind of strategy now, it allows for the ad sets to work with the budget which you've imputed at the campaign level. So now as your ad keeps running, when the algorithm discovers that one of your ad sets is performing better than the other, it automatically pushes most of the funds to the performing ad sets. And it also gives you as an advertiser an opportunity to look into different target audience, different ad sets, and for you to be able to determine which one is working, which one is not working, which one to turn off and which one to scale. So the same thing applies to the ABO, which is the ad set budget optimization, but just a little difference. I'll be showing you guys how it works now. So once you are able to find your way down to your ads manager environment like this, I want to believe you know what next to do, which is to create an ad. So you go to the top left corner of your screen, you click on create like this. So now you select the sales campaign. You can also use this strategy for the lead campaign. As we all know, the best two campaigns to run whenever you are trying to run any Facebook ad is the leads and the sales, especially if you have products to sell or you are trying to generate leads for your business. So you either go with the leads ad or the sales ad, which is the lead campaign or the sales campaign. Although every other objective here, they have their purpose, they have their goals. So but I want to believe for every business, leads and sales is most important. So I'll be using the sales campaign to explain to you guys. So you just click on the sales like this, then you click on continue. So in your own case, this might pop up. This is actually a new way of running the sales ad, which Facebook just integrated into their advert platform, which is the Advantage Plus shopping campaign. I already did a video on this, so you can check out the video. You can find the video on my channel. You can just go through the video and watch it, so you can know how to run the Advantage Plus shopping sales campaign. So but in this case, I'll be selecting the manual sales campaign. So let me go with the manual sales campaign, which is the one everyone knows how to use. So once it opens up, I believe it's going to open up at the campaign level. Okay, this is the campaign level, like I said. So the campaign budget optimization is also known as Advantage campaign budget. As you can see here, the Advantage campaign budget. So what you want to do is, normally the way most people run ad is from this campaign, they name their campaign, then they move straight to the asset level where they set their ad budgets, their conversion location, and several other things. But this particular video, I won't be talking much about targeting. It's not to teach targeting, it's not to explain what selecting your conversion location is or the kind of budget you want to use, although I might be touching down a little bit on budget because it affects what I'm going to talk about. So I won't be going into targeting details. This is just a walkthrough video. So what most people do is they come to the ad set level like this. Now they select their conversion location, they select their conversion events, which is most likely purchase like this. Then let's ignore this, then they scroll down to the budgets level, they select the budgets, then they go to where they select the location, select the age, and come straight down to the detail targeting, where they start jam packing all interests. Some people do 10, some people do 15, and at the end of the day they run the ad and they start complaining their ad is not converting. This is one of the fastest way to burn your money whenever you are running your ad, because it's not going to give you the opportunity to measure which target audience is actually giving you the results you want, because you've already packed everything together and you won't be able to decide which one is actually converting, which one is not converting. So this is where the CBO and the ABO strategy comes in. It allows for you to test them, which one is performing, which one is not performing, and which one to scale and which one to actually turn off. So now I'll be going back to the campaign level like this. Then you want to scroll down to the advantage campaign budget, which is formerly known as the campaign budget optimization. Now you want to turn it on this way. Now you scroll further down to select your budget. Like I told you, you'll be selecting your budget at the campaign level. So I'll be using 5,000 naira. If you're running an ad and you want to get the best out of your ad, your budget shouldn't go below 5,000 naira. 5,000, between 5,000 and 10,000. So it shouldn't go below that. Now you want to select your daily budget to be 5,000 naira. Now let's cancel this. That's all. So once you're able to select your daily budget like that, then you go to the ad set level like this. So what you want to do at this ad set level is to create at least 2 ad sets, but I'll be recommending 3, at least 2 ad sets that will allow you to test your audience against each other. Now I'll be creating 3 ad sets and I'll be creating 2 ads under each ad set. So let me add an ad here, duplicates, before I now duplicate the ad sets. Okay, original campaign duplicates. So we already have it duplicated. So now let me name it first. Okay, let me come to the ad level. Let me call this ad 1, and I want to call this ad 2. Okay, now let's go back to the ad set level. Okay, now I'll be duplicating the ad sets, so I'll be making 2 more copies. So once you've been able to duplicate like that, then the next thing is you want to start renaming the ad sets. As you can see, we have new sales ad set 1 copy. So you might want to name it as 2, then 3. We have the ads beneath the ad set, so let's quickly do that. Go to the ad set, rename this as 2 very quickly, then go to the third one and rename as 3. Okay, now we have 3 ad sets and we have 2 ads under each ad set. So what we want to do now next is let's go to the first ad set. You know, like I said, normally people would pack all their target audience in one ad set. Now the essence of CBO is for you to be able to test different target audience. Now what you want to do now is you click on the ad set 1. Now you select your conversion location, which is going to be your website. If it's leads ads you're running, then it's going to be your website, which is website leads. So you select your conversion location, then you scroll down, you select your conversion events, which is purchase. In this case, if it's leads ad, then it's going to be leads. Then you scroll down to your targeting, then you select the location, then you select. I won't really be talking much about all these ones. I'm much more concerned about the targeting, but you can select the location. Normally you do people living in this area, not living recently, just people living in this location. Then if you want to be location specific, then you can be location specific where you target states, but I'll leave it as the whole of Nigeria. It depends on what you are selling. So that was why I said I won't be touching down much on all these ones. I'm much more concerned about your targeting, which is your target audience. So let's say you've been able to select your location, you've been able to select your perfect age, you should have done this research, your customer avatar, then your gender. You go straight to the target audience, which is where people make a lot of mistake. Now what they do, they pack all the interests in just one ad set. But what CBO does is it allows you to split your target audience based on their interests into different ad sets, where you can be able to test them differently and decide which one is working, which one is not working. Now if I'm selling a physical product, or I'm selling a digital product, or I'm trying to generate leads, whatever case it is, I already know the kind of people I want to target. Let's say I'm selling a course now. I'm selling a course on digital marketing. I'll be targeting those that have shown interest in digital marketing. I'll be targeting those that have shown interest in social media marketing. I'll also be targeting those that have shown interest in online advertising. I'll target small business owners. I'll target those that have interest in e-commerce, things like that. So now, rather than packing all those interests in an ad set, I'll then select the ones I want to test first. I can pick, let's say I have like 10 interests, I can pick 6, then I divide them 2 inside each ad set. That's the maximum you should go. Anyways, don't do more than 2. But even 1 is recommended, so you can be able to decide, okay, this particular target audience is doing more. If you have 2, at least your chances of deciding accurately might be 50%. But if you have 1, okay, I have this one interest inside this particular ad set, so I can actually decide if this interest is working or not. If you have 2, you might not be able to decide well, but at least you have chances of deciding. So this is why I said it's better you use 1. At maximum 2, no more than 2. So let's say I have 10 interests that I've already listed out. Now I would out of that 10, I can say, okay, I have 3 ad sets, let me test 3 first. You understand? So I might be testing digital marketing first, then I will just put digital marketing in this first ad set like this. Let me say digital marketing like this. So as you can see, this is it. Digital marketing has an estimated audience of 11 million. Now what you want to do in this case is, this 11 million is quite a number for a 5,000 naira budget with 3 ad sets. Is quite a number. So what you want to do, at times it works though, but for you to have a better result, you need to define it further. That should be between 500,000 to like 1.5 million or 2 million at maximum. So you define it further, and one of the ways to define this further is using engaged shoppers. Then you type in, I hope you guys saw the way I did it. I clicked on define further, then you typed in engaged shoppers this way. Then it further defines the interest. As you can see, it is reduced now. It is reduced now to 2.1 million. This is fair enough. Now you go to we are done with this particular ad set. Now you go to the second ad set. Now you do the same thing. You check your conversions location, make sure is the same thing. Just make sure it's the same thing. Then you select your conversion events, which is purchase. Then you go further down to the target location, age, gender, which I hope you will have done. Now the interest, like I said, I listed out 10 interests, and out of the 10 interests is either I test 222 or I test 111. Don't go more than 2. So now but in this case I'm testing 1. I've selected digital marketing for the first ad set. Now here I'll be selecting social media marketing. Okay, so let's check what the estimated audience would look like. It's going to be large actually, so we might have to divide further. As you can see, 7.8 to 9.2. That's quite a number as well. Now what we're going to do now is to further divide. Let's further define it. Now we use the same parameter, engaged shoppers. Okay, so engaged shoppers are those Facebook has recorded that they have the higher tendency of purchasing anything online. So you further divided this social media marketing to engaged shoppers. You understand? Now look at the estimated audience. Now we have 1.5 to 1.8 compared to the 7.8 to 9.2. so now this is actually good for a 5,000 naira budget and for 3 ad sets. So now we are done with that. Now we go to the third ad set. We do the same thing. We make sure the conversion location is websites. Everything has to be the same thing, the pixel, the conversion events. Then you do the what's it called, the location targeting, age, gender, all of those. Then you come to the detailed targeting. So now lastly I'll be targeting, let me say, small businesses. I've decided to leave online advertising out, small businesses. So I'm targeting this interest. Let's see what the estimated audience size would look like. We have 8 to 10 million. We want to define further. Let's define further. Engaged shoppers. So let's see what we have. So this is just how you're going to do it. You see, 1.7 to 2 million. So this is how you are going to do it. So you can decide to do 2 interests, then you define further, but 1 is actually good, so you can decide which of the interest is performing. So if you have it mixed up in 2, then you won't really have this accurate data to measure. But if you use 1 per ad set, then you can know this particular audience are not performing. Let me kill it, or let me scale whichever one is performing. Now we have them, we have the interest selected for each of the ad sets. Now you can go further to your ad and do whatever creative you want to do. Now the essence of using 2 ads is you using an image plus a video. Is usually recommended to use a video and an image and a video, so you can be able to decide which of the creative is resonating well with your audience. You understand? So that's it. You can use more than 2 creatives. You can use 3, 2 images, 1 video, but make sure you're always using video. There's something about videos. So I won't be talking more about ads here. The ads is just about ad sets. So that's that about ad sets. And one thing you guys should notice is, as you can see, the budget is not appearing here. I won't be able to select budget here because I've selected it at the campaign level. So that's it. So once everything has been set, then you can go further to publish. Run it for like 24 hours or 48 hours in order for you to have enough data to decide which is working. At least 24 hours, but 48 hours is recommended. And that would give you enough data to work with, enough metrics to work with, to decide which ad set is performing, which one is not performing, which one to scale, which one to kill. You understand? So that is that for CBO, guys. That is that for CBO. Now we'll be going into the ad set budget optimization. Now, the major difference between ad sets budget optimization and campaign budget optimization is where you set the ad budget. Now, for the CBO, let me go back. For this CBO, we have the ad budget set at the campaign level like this. We have the ad budget set at the campaign level. So that's the major difference. This is it here. Remember I said you can also use this strategy to run a leads ad. So that's the difference. For the CBO, you select the daily budgets at the campaign level. Look at it here. Now for the ABO, you turn it off. Then you set the ad budget for each ad set. Now I used 5,000 naira for the CBO. Now let's say I'm employing the ad set budget optimization strategy. Now I've turned off the CBO, which is the advantage campaign budget. Now I'll go back to each ad set to impute budgets for each ad set. Now let's say for ad set 1, now you do everything necessary, conversion location, you select your conversion events, then you go. As you can see, the budget is now back. Now you can say, okay, I want to test with 1005. I want to test this particular ad set with 1005, and make sure you are using the same amount parallel. So ad set 2, let's go to the ad set 2 now. Now this is ad set 2, I want to believe. Okay, ad set 2, everything should be the same thing. Location, websites, conversion location, website, conversion events, purchases, make sure it's purchase. So make sure everything is the same thing. Everything is the same thing. The only different thing here will be your target audience, which is the detailed targeting. So the budget should be 15 as well. 15. Then I want to believe the targeting remains. Let me check. The targeting is still there. So now you go to the third ad set as well. Then you do exactly the same thing. Confirm the conversion location is website, confirm the conversion event, which is purchase. Then as you can see, the budget is here. Then you select 15. At least do 15 for 2,000 per ad set. Okay, so every other thing should be there. Let me scroll down. Okay, every other thing is there. So that about CBO and ABO. So CBO only allows you to select your budget at the campaign level, where your ad sets works with the budget you have selected at the campaign level. But the ad set budget optimization, which is the ABO, allows you to impute your budget, your daily budget at the ad set level for each of the ad sets you are testing. So that's just the difference. That's just the difference. Now I already explained the essence of using two ad for you to be able to test two creatives for a particular ad set for a particular audience. So they might resonate well with images than video. They might resonate well with videos than images. So you can, at the end of your testing period, like a day or two, you'll be able to know which of the ad creative they're actually responding to. Then you'll be able to decide which of the ad sets is actually working. You understand? So let's say you're able to find out, okay, ad set 2 is performing best, ad set 1 is performing better, ad set 3 is, let me say, the worst. You can turn off ad set 3. You can decide to turn off ad set 1, then you leave ad set 2. Now you can look into this ad set 2 and check which of the ad creative they are actually responding to. Then you turn off one of the ads. You understand? But in some cases you might decide to just use one ad each. Instead of having two ads, you can just have an ad. You use a video, one video, or image. So it depends on how you want to structure your ad. So that is just that about the CBO and the ABO strategy of running your ad. You might want to test it out and find out it's way better than stacking up your interests inside one ad set, which will not give you the opportunity to know which of your target audience is really converting. I hope you guys find this useful. I remain 𝗓𝗏𝗨𝗪, and make sure you're always having a great time.